to be here with us. I am Sissy Pettis, Dr. Sissy Pettis, superintendent here at KISD, in case you weren't aware. And today we're going to be talking about a new twist on the KISD calendar options. I found superintendent here at KISD, in case you weren't aware. On the KISD calendar options. First, I want to welcome all the Rainier community here, especially all the community agencies who have joined us up here, and they'll be speaking in a few minutes as well. Also to our parents, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We are live streaming this just in case anybody can make it. Also to our students, I see some of our students here. Thank you so much for participating in this. And of course to our board members. If we have any board members here, would you please stand? Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank all of the DEIC and DOI committee members. Now, for those of you who don't know, we have like what's called an advisory committee made up of, right there, a whole list of people. It's about 40 some odd people on our advisory committee from throughout the district and some parents and different employees. So these are our employees that are on the DEIC committee. They were on the committee for the DOI also. DOI means District of Innovation. We were able to become a District of Innovation this month, but it's been a process. It's been a few months that led to this, and the board approved it. So when you become a District of Innovation, that means you can think innovatively. You can think in a flexible calendar, those kind of things. So I'm going to explain some of that in just a minute. But you may recognize some of the names. So how many of the DEIC members are here right now? Would you please stand? Once we became a District of Innovation, then we started looking at calendar options for next school year. We always look at calendar options during the spring. It's nothing new. We look at them during the spring so that we can roll them out with enough time for parents to know what the calendar is going to be. The DEIC committee are the ones who create the drafts of the calendar. Now, since we became a District of Innovation, we were able to do a more flexible calendar. And these DEIC members created they created 4 drafts. A couple of them have been blended into one draft. When we met about the calendar options, I was very purposeful about saying, and I did it last year too and the year before, so this is my 3rd year. Very purposeful about, I don't want to be part of those discussions. I want you all to be able to brainstorm, write down any ideas you have before we, as a leadership team, see what kind of ideas you're presenting, kind of drafts. However, Dr. Sandoval, who's our assistant superintendent, he's right here, he facilitated, he's a leader of the DEIC committee, so he facilitated the groups. The reason I want to acknowledge our DEIC committee is because they spent hours and hours. Even during the lockdown when we had here at H&K, the ones who could make it, they were there at the DEIC meeting downtown, working on these calendar drafts till about close to 7 at night. So they worked very hard. I commend them for everything that they were doing. And one thing that they did was they first looked at our traditional calendar, which means what calendar are we running this year? Last year we had a similar calendar. The only thing that was different, I think, this year is now we have Easter Monday off. But we had to move it from the stock show. The stock show used to have like 3 days off, and now it's just 2 days, but we moved it to Easter Monday. So you can move things like that, even if you're not a District of Innovation. However, what you cannot do if you're not a District of Innovation is you cannot start school before the 4th Monday of August. That's not allowed. Now that you're District of Innovation, we can look at all types of calendars. So what the DEIC did was they started first by looking at our traditional calendar. And then we created a chart of likes and dislikes of every, the calendar we have this year. And then they created like option one. Option one, and what they did was they color coded the same sheet and put in green everything that the option would help with. And then they did the same thing for option two and for option three. I have one, two, and then option three. So then they presented them to the leadership team, and the most innovative calendar you will see is, of course, option three. Studies of this. So then the leadership team had to meet and say, okay, with any of these calendars, can we accommodate with transportation, with food services, with work year calendars? So before we rolled out any of those, we had to hash out some of those things. With UIL academics, with UIL athletics, we had to look at all those things. We started meeting for about, we thought it was going to be like a 1 hour meeting, and we met pretty much all day because we wanted to make sure and hash out everything. Because we knew there would be some questions, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is look at option one. Option one, it begins school August 7th and ends May 16th. These are all on our website. You click on it and you'll be able to see it. Many of you have already seen it, but these are on our website. It front loads all PD. What PD is professional development and work days. So you'll see in August, which is the first month, most of the professional development and work days are done before we start school. Okay? That's pretty much the difference between this calendar that we have this year and next. Oh, well, also, we end sooner. Okay, May 16th. This year we end June 2nd. Okay. Calendar option two begins school August 7th and ends May 23rd. On all of these options, we're ending before Memorial Day. And that was a big thing that DEIC was requesting. Whatever options we have, let's make sure we're ending before Memorial Day, because we feel like after Memorial Day, the kids are pretty much done, and they're ready for the summer. So all three options met that. Okay, this year it's June 2nd that we have graduation, we end, etc. Okay, there are fewer PD, professional development, and work days before the school year starts, and it sprinkles the other days into the rest of the school year. We also have an extra day for Christmas break that we do on option one. So on option two, we go to Christmas break on December 21st. It's an early release, okay? It shows it on a Thursday. On option one, we meet on the 22nd, that Friday of December. Okay? Any questions about one and two? Okay, option three has generated the most questions. Okay, it's the most innovative, and we talked about innovation. These are the kind of things that are innovative. So it's a different type of calendar. It is a 4.5 day week. Fridays are half days for employees, for all employees, half days. No matter what, all the employees have half day weeks. And we also have wellness Fridays, which are about 5 to 6 Fridays throughout the year, where all employees are off. They can go take care of their doctor's appointments, dental appointments, they can, and just be with family. Just kind of take a mental break. It's just a break. It's really great for them. Okay. Option three was really designed for what I think, yes, with students and teachers in mind, because you get burned out sometimes. Okay, constant, and with the pressure that's coming down from the school districts, it does get very stressful. And so this is the calendar that we're hoping would maybe help with that. Now, you may ask, so which one do you or anybody up here or any of our central office leaders are you all trying to push for? We are not trying to push for anything, but we are answering a lot of questions about option 3 because that's what all the questions that are coming from are about. No matter what, all of us employees in central office, we're going to be here no matter what on every single calendar. So it really doesn't affect what we do daily, but it does affect what teachers, counselors do daily. So just know that. Okay, so let's see, what does that mean, the color coding? And we're going to do the month of September, okay? And I zoomed in on this, hopefully, this will be business for you. Okay, so if you look at, this is still option 3. If you look at Fridays, that's all we're going to pay attention to, that's what I call Fridays explained. All of the blue, which is September 1st, 8th, and 22nd, students are invited to come to school those mornings, okay? Option 15 is professional development that we're having with the teachers and staff on those mornings, on that morning. Number 29, that is the day that is a Wellness Friday. So one of the questions that has come up is, okay, what's the kid going to do when they're home on Friday? Okay. Well, this week happens to be a 4-day for students. You all know none of the students have to come this past Monday, right? So what did they do? When we're off on stock show those days, what do the kids do? Last week we were on spring break for 5 days. What did the kids do? Okay, so whatever they do on those days that they're normally off, I'm assuming parents will have them do the same things. However, we did realize this is kind of been a blessing in disguise because we did realize our kids are not taking advantage of some of the phenomenal resource agencies we have here in our city. For example, this past Monday, all students were at home, all students were off. The Boys and Girls Club had 8 students, and they have fantastic programs, and they'll talk a little bit more about that, okay? So this is those explained. This one doesn't happen to have a Yellow Friday. On Yellow Fridays, those are going to be the mornings when teachers and staff have a work day, where we don't assign them any professional development sessions. They work on what they need to work on, what they need to make up, paperwork, especially special ed teachers have so much paperwork, everybody does, to make up things. Also, we can have principal and counselor meetings on those mornings, and we don't have to take out our principals and counselors from the school day on any other regular day, Mondays through Thursdays. We will have faculty meetings on those mornings, so now teachers and staff wouldn't have to stay late sometimes for faculty meetings because we can take advantage of, the orange mornings, professional development days. And then we can take advantage on the yellow mornings, we call them the principals in the house for those mornings. So those are kind of the things that would be happening. Okay, how many of y'all survivors? You're old enough to remember, because I am, okay? If not, your parents I'm sure do. He was a very wise man. He said, like we often talk about as if it were relief from serious learning. But for children, play is actually serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood. So these are some pictures of what some of our kids were doing on Friday before we left for spring break. Before we left for spring break, I could tell that we had had some busy time. And I told all the teachers and staff, you know what, if y'all want to have a fun Friday, do it. We need some relief. And so many of the schools were doing things like this. So if you look at the kiddos there, I love whoever captured these pictures, these are great pics. If you look at these pics, what do you see that some of our students are doing? Anybody what are they doing there? They're playing Jenga. What? Strategizing? Yes. What else? What? Learning patience. Yes, definitely patience. What else? Concentrating. They're concentrating for sure. Critical thinking. Critical thinking. They're thinking critically. How am I going to do this? Right. Next step. What else? Problem solving. Problem solving. What else? Working cooperatively. They have to work as a team. Having fun. The joy of learning. These are the kind of things you want to have those Friday mornings. And teachers don't have to feel like, when do I have to do it? I have to get in on the teams. I have to get in on all these lessons. So these are some of the types of things we're hoping they'll be doing on Friday mornings. The kids are going to function about it. Okay, some other things we're going to want to do this Friday mornings is celebrations, arts and crafts, guest speakers, presentations, social time through the joy of play. So, for example, we have here, I put on there, 2023 Congressional Art Competition. I received this from Senator Vicente Gonzalez's office saying, please send this to your staff, your teachers. And it went to all districts, right? This is just one example. Well, I am sure that teachers want to be able to implement these things in their classrooms. But naturally, the first thing they think of is, when am I going to have time to do this with my students? Because I'm having to do all these other teaching instructions. So we do have Albert Martinez, representative from Senator Gonzalez, and he would just like to say a couple of words.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis and school board members and everyone that's here in the community. I was a school board for 15 years. If someone would have told me back then that there was a serious side effect that I would have never done it. It's serious business, and I enjoy it every day because that's what we get up to do, is serious business of the schools every day. Dr. Gonzalez said mentioned that the schools that every year we have an art competition, which is it runs throughout the district and township, and I know every year we get the valley kids that always win the prize. It's just $4,000 and we go some and otherwise we have they can go to college. And I was talking earlier, Randy Sullivan, that there are exciting things happening in Kingsville right now. And we all should be excited. There are things happening every day, and we cannot fall asleep and let that pass us by, because we need to get our children to participate in things that are opportunities that are presented to us and have them capitalize on those opportunities. This scholarship, I know Kingsville got some very talented artists in their needs. I know Phil Escobar that we talk all the time, brags about how many people this in here. And that's awesome. So I would love to see as much participation in this art competition as the school district. And that way we can show the southern part of the district who's lost. So thank you, Dr. Pettis. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So another thing that our kids are doing, Miss Paul from children, she started teaching, she knows how to crochet. So she offered to teach the kids how to crochet after school. So again, this is after school. She would love to be able to do it on Friday mornings when more kids will come, because parents are going to drop them off, just like any other school morning, and she'd be able to teach them something like this and maybe reach more kids. A lot of them cannot stay after school because they're going to work, they're going to take care of their siblings, things like that. So things like that will be happening. We have an author also, and of course from the conservation society, they came up here, the attendance celebrations, all those things would be happening on Friday mornings. So kids are here, perfect attendance, you know, we could allow them to take a break on Friday mornings to celebrate, to have fun games, ice cream, pizza, whatever, and they're not missing instruction during the day. Because it's not happening during the day, it's during Friday morning. Okay, another thing that we want to strategically plan as well is college visits. I don't think our students go tour the colleges enough. It seems to be that there's only so much time. Teachers are worried that kids will be missing instruction to go on college visits, and so they're not going. And we want to open up those opportunities for the school, just as we would have done any other Friday morning. And we're going to take you on a college visit. You don't have to worry about missing instruction in the other classes. Some out-of-town field trips, we want to go to NASA, things like that take pretty much all day, and students would be missing classroom instruction if they go. Rehearsals, one-act play, your child's in one-act play, or the choir, and the band, and I have our fine arts director here, and our athletic director here, in case any of you have specific questions for them about that. They confirm UIL will not be affected at all. But, for example, let's say we have a baseball tournament to take the kids to on a Friday, and they have to leave by 11 on a Friday, because they're going to Laredo or somewhere. Those baseball players or softball players are missing instruction the rest of the day. But if they're going on a Friday, when they do this option, they're not missing instruction all day because they would have gotten it Monday through Thursday. So they can actually arrive a little later, because many of them are back, even though they're leaving to the tournament at 10, they're skipping school, first and second period. That has happened quite a bit. Over time, no, not over the meetings. Okay, you need to show up. But at least they wouldn't have to worry that they're missing their classes if this option went in. Club meetings, our ROTC, they go and they clean up their room, they have a doctor. So they could go over there most weeks. They wouldn't have to come on Saturdays, they would work on Saturdays, they would work. They wouldn't have to go out to school because they could do it on Friday mornings. So do some community service projects, things like that. Club meetings. Not enough of our students are participating in clubs. Why? Because maybe they can't stay after school. They have other reasons for not being able to. But if they come on a Friday morning, just like they come on then they can be put into their clubs. Okay, on this Friday morning, you're gonna go to the chess club and you're gonna be there with us. Okay, the next hour, you're gonna go and do this other club. It would have to be very strategically planned by district and campus leaders. So we know that. We know it's gonna take some planning to make sure every child is included. Now, the first thing we need to do is on Friday mornings is to go to tutoring or interventions if they needed it. It's hard for some students to come to tutoring after school or on Saturdays. So if they come on Friday mornings, we can capture them there because it would have been just like coming to school any other Friday morning. And we will capture those kids. So we can capture them, do reading, tutoring maybe for 2 hours. And then you know what, the next 2 hours you're gonna be able to go meet the student council or NHS or any of the other clubs or your running club, jump rope club. I would love to start more clubs like that. All adults have some sort of skill they can teach, like Miss Hall taught crochet. Little did she know there's an interest in it, okay? So that's getting the kids involved in something like that. We showed some pictures. Also, pep rallies. So people have asked, so what do we do about pep rallies, okay? Friday mornings, that's very important, okay? Friday mornings, now we can have pep rallies more often because you're not cutting into instructional time. We could have it like at 11. Parents could come, some of the younger kids could come and cheer on their older brothers and sisters, and they wouldn't be missing instruction. So we would even have a bigger fan crowd for them, things like that. So those would still happen. Game and road trips, we talked about that a while ago. Many times on Fridays, you'll walk down the halls of HEP, and there's very few students here because they're either at tennis, golf, baseball, softball. So, and it worries me because I feel like, oh my God, that many students are missing out on instruction, but they're also doing something very good. They're also participating in athletics, but we know they have to make up some of those things. Okay, so would we be the first ones, if we decide to go with option 3, to go to a 4.5 day school week, okay? Well, yesterday, George West voted to go to the 4-day week, this last night. Freer is pursuing it. Santa Rosa also has done it. And then everyone else is pretty much in the northern, northeast part, maybe closer to Houston and Dallas area, that have gone to the 4.5 day weeks. So this is innovative, it is new, you know, and I'm sure people are wondering, okay, let's let others do it before we do it, right? To see if we want to do it. Well, yesterday at our superintendent's meeting at the Education Service Center, all superintendents were there, but the superintendent from DeKalb ISD, and that's up north, he came to speak to us about their 4-day week they've done for 2 years, okay? They started it because it was very difficult for them to get teachers, to get certified teachers also. Their attendance, you know, wasn't the best, and their grades, etc. So they wanted to try something innovative, and they were already a district of innovation, so they did that. So yesterday when he was talking to us, he was showing us some slides, and this is one that I figured maybe you all would be interested in seeing. It says, by May 2022, all teaching positions were filled for the next school year. The year before, they're a small district. The year before, they still needed about 23 teachers, okay? They said, we had 3 teachers with 20 plus years of experience hired. So they weren't just hiring brand new teachers, they were hiring teachers who had already been experienced and saying, I want to go there. Student enrollment went up by 68 students. In a small district, that is huge, okay? Student attendance was up to 95.2, so it came up. Staff attendance was also up. So, in 2021, 2022, 525 days were used for substitute days. And get substitutes for 25 days. This year, we had to get 396 subs. That's a significant drop in the need for subs. And parents, I know it's very frustrating when you hear, I can't have a sub in almost every class. You know, that is frustrating. So we can reduce the amount of days we need to sub. That would be a positive. So on Monday, the 20th, and August 12th, that morning, about an hour, we met here in the dome, all 500 and some odd employees, all of our employees. And I pretty much shared this exact same, I just tweaked it a little bit for parents, like a parent audience. I gave a little bit more information about the teachers. Then after that, we went and met with small groups. So that during the day, we met with special ed staff, with their aides, and then we met with the transportation department, and then we met with the maintenance department, then we met with our custodians to help them as well ask any questions they may have had that they didn't want to ask in front of the people, or maybe that they didn't want to email. So we met with them personally, and I really appreciated talking to them. We love them. We love them when we meet with them. So, KISD has a Q&A on the website, and many of you got copies of it. And we're adding to it, you know, as people are asking questions, because we want to make sure we're putting facts out there and not rumors, not misinformation. So we'll continue adding to the Q&A if we need to, but what you have in your hands, that's as recent as today at about 2 o'clock, okay? There's going to be a parent survey link that'll be open today through April 3rd. After, well, tonight it'll probably open about 8 o'clock at night, something like that, okay? The staff received their survey yesterday, late afternoon, I think it was in the evening, and so they've been filling out theirs. Next week, I would like for the students to have a say, so just to hear what are some concerns, what are some questions they may have. So we're going to roll out something for them Jill, okay, from the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you, Dr. We've got a really long-term relationship with KISD. It's only gotten better since Sissy's been here. There are already kids being transported from Boys and Girls Club in all the schools in the area. One of the things we talked about was, so as things change, whether it's 1, 2, innovative option 3, we just want to share with the community that the Boys and Girls Club is open and ready to take care of kids in a way that's not childcare, that is actually enrichment, tutoring, education. They have about 12 different programs, about 12, plus things for older kids as well. And so it's a Monday through Friday business. And I will tell you that because of the way John and Jill manage, we only have to charge $50 per month and scholarship a lot of students as well. So this is something your child needs tomorrow. We'd love to meet them and talk to them. And it's something you need as a schedule change. We'd certainly love to entertain that option as well. And so amongst that, we also have a feeding program for students so they can get dinner every day. We have year-round sports, including sports going on right now. So we just want to keep you know as a resource. The Boys and Girls Club is here to support not only all the students in Kingsville, but Kingsville and Frederick County. We appreciate being asked to thank you.
Thank you. So some of you may have seen the channel story where they came and they met with them for like 45 minutes. Okay, Michael Gibson, where are you? And one statement was like, "Ooh, it's a little scary if you might get that many kids." Out of everything else that they share that they want. So please know that we have already planned for the capacity. Right now, they already lease Memorial Middle School from us, the gyms and the cafeteria on weekends for tournaments. So we talked about, okay, let's say by some chance, all 2,700 kids want to go to Boys and Girls Club. Well, we've got that, we've got Memorial, and we've got Harvey that's right across the street that we're talking about as well. So capacity is not going to be a problem. This past Monday, the fact that only 8 out of our 2,700 kids went there tells me we might not have a capacity problem, but if we do, we're ready for it, correct? That's what we talked about. We talked about that. So I really think students take advantage of the Boys and Girls Club. My husband still talks about it. He went over there 50 years ago. The same Boys Club. It's an older building. It's the same Boys Club. You learn so much, not just about sports, but again, they have the Silver Learning Center. They have all sorts of things for our kids. All right, another community agency that is offered to help with our kiddos is the city of Kingsville. So who's speaking for the city of Kingsville? All right, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening. There's a lot of things we can do to help in this regard as far as children having something to do on Friday. And I'm going to let this manager speak about all the programs that we have to offer. We're here to support this district, and whatever option that you select, will certainly be on board. So Mark McLaughlin is our city manager, and his staff are going to be in charge of all of this. Mayor.
Right, thank you, Dr. Pettis, and the school board for inviting us to here tonight. I'm working on the city manager, and I can tell you that in over 7 years of city management, the last 2 years, 2.5 years of Berlin is the first time in my career as city manager to the city and the school district work so long. We have hardly any previous. So Dr. Pettis called me about a month ago with this idea of the school calendars, and she talked about traditional calendars and option 1 and option 2. She said, "But what we're going to be is option 3. We need to understand what the city can do." So I'll share a little bit of that with you. Tonight we have EDC communities. And have Susan Heidi here, but you don't know Susan, you Susan runs the plans, and she has, there's 11 city parks in the city. Half of them are actually owned by the county, but the city management group, and then that's in the city of alcohol. So from all of those different pieces, there's a lot of things for the children to do. And so we sort of put together some ideas on fill in some of those Fridays that Dr. Pettis was talking about. One of the things I'm very passionate about is supplies. Teaching children how to swim. I'm from a swimming family, and my kids were born and raised in swimming, or competitive swimming. Thank you. And it's something to our scholarships, swimming big, and probably one of the leading causes of accidental death, because the kids don't know how to swim. And you can teach a child to swim at a year of age. So we have an opportunity now with a modified with option 3 to expand one of our most events, which is our summer swim league. It fills up really fast, and we have a very short season because most of our lifeguards coach kids, high school, juniors, and seniors. Once school start, not with a we have to work this through our internal because there's federal labor law when some knowledge on the benefits, like to see how we can stretch some of these seniors and juniors and high school to help us with being the labor we need to run a longer products program when the field is on instead of junior middle class. That's kind of one of the big things that I think is a huge benefit that we know we can probably do. Some of the other things that we've talked about is there's a lot of programs in our companies all the time. And you just have to follow them on Facebook or go on city website. You can find tons of information with constantly pushing it. Many of the things that would be expanded offer a very different point than just a traditional Saturday or a Sunday or after the release day. Which will open up more Fridays would be stuff like the nature camps, the fishing sport camps, different then the Brandon, so sit here representing the county, I guess. And that's the greatest try to fix the levee and the sidewall and take better for the water and make it safer. And there's some federal money that's areas that we can drive in there from taking it out. So there's a lot of things that we're trying to improve to make another national player. Because I'll tell you from the city manager, parks don't make money. They get it. Care if they make money or not, but they care that we offer the maximum amount of food for the community because you want people to live here, you want people to stay here, you got rebuilding many of these for 20, 30, 40 years. And if you the whole work in the last 3 years, I'm not improving. We got the right kind of group running. There's other options that we have, and that's what the base commander very strongly, and AST, that in our recreation department has many functions that they do on the base, and you can coordinate with the city and the school district to get kids whatever they have actually go on with things. You know what? You got this to get everyone. We have well, I heard people say, we don't have a boy here. It's too hard. Which has been a huge improvement. The amount of people interested in home, eventually. Like, you know, you're out there every day. And so so one of the places, for example, is the amount of tournaments. We had tournaments all last year. Well, we had 8 just in the month of March. This month, that's how much the golf course was improved because of the efforts. We think we can open that kind of sporting event that probably would never get exposed to golf if they offer that opportunity. And then, of course, what Susan already runs, he has art classes. More. You got a lot of great things going on there. They're really big in the video gaming and the gaming and the big board gaming. It's really neat stuff. And if you've ever went on the Washburn State luncheons, you need to go. You're going to be blown away with all of the data and the pictures of all the kids playing stuff I didn't even know we did. Those sort of things. So much going on. I can't keep track of it all. Spring break will always be a tough time because I'm teaching much more baseball games and baseball. When you were baseball. So we go with the biggest events we have. And we'll the toughest job to come. So one phrase of the past is that the mayor and our city commission, we have actually changed our budget calendar for this year. Normally, we don't begin our first round of discussion with our whole city for the budget until late May. We're actually going to do this a week from Monday. We're going to start our whole session for the city. So this is really what the city commissioner wants to do the budget, and it's the mayor and the budget we review last year, and we review previous year. What we had very good on, and another you know, we're going to modernize. So that is going to happen a week from Monday. So it's very important that you do Dr. Perez's survey, because the interaction we're having with the city and the school district, a lot of the input that we provide to the school district will be relayed to the mayor and the commission on how we reapportion our resources to try to cover if option 3 is the one decided. So that's all I have for you tonight. Thanks for your questions.
Thank you, Billy. Where do we apparently realize anything that any of our kids never get to learn? Or they're squeezed out in summer because it's just so packed. Friday afternoons, the only people they're competing with is all KISD. So that's a good thing. I thank you so much for the ideas that we bring something about. Okay, we also have pastors here from Kingsway Church. Again, I was scrolling my social media and I saw how many kids this church attracts every weekend. I'm sure there are other churches that do too, and if you know of any, send them my way, send their information to me, if option 3 goes through. But I asked them if they could come, I met with them as well, and I asked them if they could come say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Perez. My name is Steve Martinez. I'm the associate pastor at Kingsway Family Church. Here with me is our youth pastor, Pastor Edwin Ken. And also on the stands, those are the youth pastor, Pastor Joe, and his wife. And he's also a coach here at the high school. So it's an honor to be here with you all today. And as Kingsway Family Church, our pastor's vision is reaching kids. And also, the next educator myself as a coach and a teacher, we love kids and we'll do whatever reaches kids in our community. This spring break, we had 60 kids every day during spring break with us. And it was a blessing to have them from, it was not easy, but it was a blessing. We got 6 kids from New all the way from Maple Circle, from Research and the west side of town. But it was a blessing to have these kids with us. Some of these kids that come from broken homes, but they need mentorship, they need encouragement, and they need somebody to love on them. So it's been a blessing to whatever we can kids in our community, and Dr. Perez told us that whatever we can serve, we're ready to follow this district as a teacher and a coach. We love kids. Well, our church is beginning to across the community. Our hope is to have a park as well. We have a gym at the church, and across we have 8 acres. So we love to have a sports complex as well, where kids play indoor and outdoor sports. This summer we had about close to 50 kids every day there. We had a feeding program for the kids, and as well this summer we'll have some interns from the university, the football players living on campus, helping us out with the summer program. And throughout the year, the students are helping out this there around wherever we can do to serve the community. A couple of things that we've done is we let new kids every week. We have more budget to reach more kids. You know, some of these kids, a couple of people who like with the kids last night, I did a voice program. I asked the kids, how many been fishing? And it was sad that about 20 kids that none of them have been fishing. And these are like, somebody could live on making circles. So our goal is to teach these kids how to fish and just be just a mentorship to some of these kids, just encourage them. Some people don't have dad, and we just want to be this love and encourage these kids. This spring break, I thought that when kids want to serve, not just give, but not just teach them just to give to them, but also how to serve. This spring break, we had 25 students who came all the way from Oklahoma, and they were serving. They were from 18 and doing different projects and also helping families. If I can get out of those students and go to families on new land and also engage the community and also in this guy there at the church. So it was a blessing. Every day we had over 150 families. So we were serving this community. We're excited that whatever we can do as a church, partner with the school district to help students. And on Friday, our gym is lovely. We have a gym there. And we have a staff that's ready to serve the students and then even to busing kids or drop off kids, whatever we can do as a church to help our students in our community. We love the kids, we love KISD, and whatever we can do to help the community, we're here to serve you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I go on to the next, you may be wondering, okay, so how's my kid gonna get to any of these things? We're gonna provide transportation to all the same thing, because we're gonna have transportation workers here on Friday mornings anyway. Okay, so they can go drop them off at this time, 12:30, wherever it is, if they don't know where to stop for any of these places, we'll drop them off, and then parents can pick them up afterward. Okay, so just so you know that. All right, communities and schools, it's also part of this, right?
Good evening, I'm Gloria Taylor, and I'm the Executive Director for Communities and Schools, and I'm so excited. We also serve George West, so this is going to be 2 possible school districts that we will be working with this. Now, George West and Kiesel are totally different, so my conversation with Dr. Pettis is wherever you need us, right? That's what CIS says, whatever it takes. So if she wants us to continue our schedule from 8 to 4:30 Monday to Friday, I envision that our staff would stay after school Friday afternoon for those kids that still need some added support. Maybe they need to make attendance a recovery. You know, right? The kids are going, but we can figure to open to help them with that attendance. Maybe they need to do a resume high school. Maybe they need to do the FAFSA. So we're talking about our staff's day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. If the leadership decides, no, go ahead and adopt, we're going to be there on Fridays to support whatever. Maybe our staff will be the ones going on the field trips. I'm really, really excited to hear these opportunities to join the first club in this great phase. And I think $50 a month is an incredible rate. I would pay way more for saying to her. But for those families that may be struggling even for the $50, we can have a conversation. Maybe we can go half and half. Communities sponsor $25 a month for your child, and sponsor the rest at your second. Or we could do the whole thing. So there's some options for you. So I am super excited. The district we're going to need your support regardless. We appreciate your support. And one last thing, I just want to remind you, we do have the food pantry that's available to any family member here in Kingsville that's attending Kingsville ISD. And teachers, you also can go and get food. So please go see us at the Flavor Unit. Brittany is our food pantry manager. And please don't forget, we all need a helping hand sometimes. So that is what that food is for. So please don't forget, we're there and we post some time. Thank you.
Thank you. The world boxer. He wanted to be here as well, but he did get interviewed, and he's there also. That's another place where kids can go to learn self-defense. He likes to do FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So those are other things that he wants to open the doors to, and I'm sure other opportunities are going to come up as well. Now we're not just thinking about the students because we think about them first, and that's why we talk about that first. But we're also thinking about our teachers and staff. And we want to grow, we want to recruit, and we want to grow the teachers that are serving us right now in reference to student teaching and field observers, okay? We have 60 or some odd student teachers and field observers right now. But you know what? The week goes and we're just like, yeah, when are we going to have time to meet with them because they need to be in the classrooms, they need to be doing their lesson plan, yada, yada, yada. So I talked to Dr. Bella, who's the president of County University, and I talked to the new interim dean, Edgar, Dr. Yaga, to see is there some way that we can use writing ordinance to meet with the students and things like that. So I asked Dr. Yaga if she could come over here, Dr. Bella had an engagement really important when that comes, so here is Dr. Yaga.
Thank you, Dr. This is really a very deja vu because at the risk of aging myself, it was about 30 years ago that I stood as a very young campus principal at Driscoll ISD talking to a group just like you all about an alternative calendar. And that was year-round school. It was very scary. And people said, no, that's crazy. Year-round school, it's just crazy. What are we going to do? We're so used to this calendar. And 30 plus years later, they were still having their year-round school. Many districts have done so. I always hate the term 4-day week. That's really the little issue that people have that scares them. What do you mean a 4-day week? What do you mean 4 days for my kids instead of 5? What do you mean the teachers? Everybody's going to work 4 days and everybody's going to have on weekend. But as you can see from the presentations, it's not a 4-day week. It's an alternative or an innovative calendar. It's a non-traditional calendar. I almost wish that it was instead of calling it 4-day week calendar, it's more of an innovative or an alternative calendar. So think about that. Texas A&M Kingsville is very well. We have many partners, many school districts we partner with, but none so close as we do with KISD. There are programs in education. Yes, we have private things to teachers. We also have we also can really work with teachers who want to continue to get their master's degree, their doctorate degree. They want to get their principal certification. They want to get their superintendent certification. We have those options available for them. Most of all, we do want to produce a very strong teacher. So when they go through student teaching, we want them to be able to reflect, sit down, talk to the teacher, and not just go from day to day to day. And so there's so many opportunities. Without our students, we are number one concern. The students are the heart of this district. The teachers are the soul of the district. And if our teachers, I don't know about you all, but whenever you have to have surgery or whenever you have to go on, you want your pilot to be fresh. You want them to have the latest technology. You want them to have the latest understanding of aviation. You want the doctors to be refreshed, to have that time, grow professionally, with the hours in. We don't think about that first. But our teachers may not be saving lives, but they're changing lives. And they're changing lives. So we really need to dive into those teachers and understand that this is not a 4-day week for them. This is a time for them to grow professionally and for them to also take time to reflect, renew, and be ready for Monday when this is new. So Texas A&M Kingsville is totally committed to this district. We always will be, and we're doing whatever we choose. We will still continue to be a strong partner. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, we started with option 3, because I call it 4.5. Half morning, Friday morning, we're all still here. So we're still working. The kids still come every Friday. So I think the biggest obstacle to me is what our kids can do. And we need to help parents plan to have their kids engaged in things they have talked about. Many of our seniors and juniors that I've talked to said they have never set foot at the game. They never set foot at the base. They didn't know how to swim, things like that, that might be hearing. That's a shame that our kids don't have these opportunities. Why don't they? We are the adult. We need to guide them and provide them options and opportunities. Now, I do want to recognize the fact that we have a couple of statistics. We have Ms. Gina Garza from Ricardo Alliance. And Mrs. Waterhouse from Skidmore Tanning. So like I said yesterday, we had a superintendent's meeting, but it's just a ball. So a lot of us. Because it's really starting. We're all kind of learning about each other. Inside the superintendent, right, continuously and all their process. So we're learning from each other. Is any option perfect? Absolutely not. You know, even though we're in it. But we just have to keep looking forward. We have to keep moving forward. We have to adapt to the kids we have right now, to the generation of kids who have been through a historic pandemic, Hurricane Harvey, things that many of us we grew up with. Not the traditional life that we had, social media, okay, things like that. So we're just thinking outside the box. So what would be a downfall from, let's say, option 3 is having maybe what people ask about? It's Monday through Thursday, it's a longer day. Okay, you have to fit in 75,600 minutes. Every school must have a school attend. Okay, so whatever calendar we choose, we always put that in there. Now, usually we put enough days, we can have 7 extra days in there in case it's bad weather days, or in case it's COVID days, if you have closed. Or last year, some of you may remember, we ended up coming after Memorial Day because there was a lot of ribbons and sheep involved in this side of the time. We want to go like that. Okay, so we have those weather days. Well, the option 3 now, we have our day and a half, about day and a half, that we might still be able to play with, you know. But if we have to make it out for any other reason, we have those wellness Fridays to use the weather. Too far. Okay, so I get it. So it is up to each campus to develop activities to keep the kids engaged or give them another recharge at that time. Whether it's a inside, they decide to say steps or put your hand down. Put your hand down, pretend this. But every campus is different, and that's why whole campuses, you're all gonna have to plan like that. We're going many other things, Fridays, so parents expect the campus to definitely do their part to be that. Are there any additional questions that may not be on the handout that we've given you? Or that we haven't talked about here, or if you'd like to ask our athletic director or finance director, or any of our wonderful partners we have here.
Hi, everything. The only question that I have, well, I have a couple. So one that I have is gonna be for elementary. But you talked a lot about catering to the older kids. I have elementary school kids. And then I have a kid that is special needs, takes medication and things like that. With the longer days, the medication wears off. Teachers, it's not your job to put up with him, I know that, but he does get burned out. So that was one question that I had. And then another question is about all the programs that are going to be offered. Are they going to be income-based? Because some parents may not meet that income requirement. They may be a little over, they may be a little under, and things like that. You pretty much answered the rest of them, but those are the top two questions that I have.
I think the income based, Mrs. Florida Taylor talked about, that you be able to help us first. Not always income based. But the question was what the other kids. In fact, when I was meeting with CPID from the department, I said, you know, I really need something for a 5-year-old and 2-year-old kids. Now, our seniors, juniors, high school kids, a lot of them are life cards. So that provides an additional for them too. But we'll really need what age do you serve? 4 they have some as young as 4-year-olds. Okay. The boys and girls come home from kids young as 4-year-old. I didn't even know that. Did I answer the question? Yes. Okay. What was the other question? Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Where did you go?
So I understand you mentioned that there's a lot of resources that we're not taking advantage of here in Claiborne County.
Not everybody.
Right. But all these resources, there's gonna be added costs, right? Or who's gonna pick up the tab on that added cost? That's the reason why we're paying, as homeowners, we're paying taxes, school taxes, to allow our children to go to school at that traditional calendar, Monday through Friday. That helps single parents like myself be able to perform work and not have to worry about, oh, what am I going to do on Fridays from now on? Who's going to take care of the children?
And that's what we do. Now, we are providing all the transportation. We are providing lunches. So we have talked also about pitching in some of the costs as well, looking at the grants. And John said this made a very good point. There are grants out there, the more things you have, then you can get them in funding. For example, we already have students from Harvey and from Pettis, for 50 kids from each, that go to their after school program every day. At Harold, we have maybe 10 or 12. We would really like more kids from Harold to go, because if we can get 50, and it doesn't have to be the cost we're talking about, then they can get a grant. But, you know, it just depends. They can get it down to $20 a month. But sometimes we do have to like, we get scout deals, Chick-fil-A, things like that. Some things we already have to budget. I know, I'm already good at it. But we have resources. So I don't want this reason to be used to keep kids from taking advantage of some of these opportunities. I want time constraints, not to take advantage of them. If they cannot on Fridays, if they don't want to pretty good traditional calendar, then yes, and parents, and we need to be aware these things are available on Saturdays. You can take advantage of. At least you can do them in this time. If you didn't know about it before, at least you've done our part to get these opportunities to do our business. Parents want to do it.
I have one more question. You just played some data about the attendance on one of the schools that had gone to a 4-day week, but there was no data on grades. Do you have that information available?
They really don't have to with grades. It's like, they're a very small district that has very, they weren't stressed about the grades. They were stressed about getting kids to school, getting quality teachers. So their website, the KISD website, has all the information. I think we want anybody to go, social media is fine. But you can go to their website, just Google it, and we have to see everything about their account. You're sharing with everybody, it's fun. Go and look.
I've got a question real quick on the Girls and Boys Club. You were talking about 9 to 11 different programs. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
So we have the three components daily, education, life, physical activities. A program such as Money Matters. Programs in our triple play, Mind on Soul, we have a program for teens. We have a there's a punch club, and come back and Washington DC, for great. Take kids fishing, take kids camping, we have our year-round sports, also. Sylvan, program we have quite taking after school, I'm doing some work, I'm figuring this is big going on. Because I think it's a matter of course, if the situation comes, we need to roll on. Right, we need to get more in here. We are using an analysis program as well, closing gaps, to know the parents have to go in the remediation plan, and they're online on computers, and we're successful. They're already great teachers, now they're actually doing a day on the program. Thank you. Other questions?
You mentioned earlier about surveys for your staff, parents, and students. Will there be a voting poll for these calendars for parents?
But yes, happening, we're doing a survey to see what is the public knowledge of this. Do they, a lot of times we do surveys. So we and the board, we're going to take the recommendation to the board. Board wants to approve it or not. That's what they're elected for. So they're listening to their constituents. They're looking at data to offers.
So they will have access to the surveys from the parents.
Absolutely.
The online, so they will be able to see what their constituents are concerned with as far as 1, 2, and 3 calendar, and not just what you're recommending to them.
Yes, but also reach out to them.
Thank you.
On the Boys and Girls Club, is that only during the school year or also during the summer when they're out of school?
It is primarily during the school year that we can this. Summer, we do the same thing, run it all day. 2 sessions. And however, the summer, we would see more fun. And that's where we get people to get fun. Yeah, Bill Escobar right here, who gives over $1,500 in this match every year. Scholarship kids from home. Well, that's how we're able to help families. Thank you, Bill. We get the new model where we people in and allow our kids to come in and provide services. Some of that at no cost, some of that at no cost, just depend on individualized. And your question, summer is totally different. We do it, but we do it in that program.
Okay, so then on the church, do you all also do it only during the school year? Or is it year round that if we need to take our child somewhere for some unforeseen reason, we don't have a sitter? Can we take them to you where you can teach them and keep them interested in doing something?
We can talk about Fridays, it should be open that on Fridays and as well, when something we can tell us on the program for the kids. We can have a breakfast lunch program. We have other things that we open on. And it's free.
Okay, thank you. About the attendance, you mentioned about that. Currently now, how many students attend Saturday school?
Where's our school? About 40 students. Yeah, more than we can cover. But yeah, about 40.
More to come out on Friday, and you think that they would?
Well, if, okay, let's say I'm here and my child is just great. And we want to. They can't make it to play. Well, every day I take my child to school and give you space, so I'm gonna take it too. Up here. They can. So now my child can look at you together nowadays.
I have two boys that are in elementary. They can only stand to be there till 3. And that's not even because they leave at 3:15. What are the actual hours if option 3 goes through?
They'll be there till 3:55.
What about
All of them are gonna be about 40 minutes longer than usual. So like in high school, classes instead of 45 minutes long, they'll be like 50 minutes. You think it's equivalent to 10 days because they're not moving on the Fridays. So they're having 10 minutes extra, they're having 6 extra days off and then the afternoon off. So that compensates for that.
This is for the Boys and Girls Club in the church. Going back to her question, but like that. Hello? Yeah. Going back to her question on special needs and like autistic kids. Some kids can't be like around a big group of kids or loud noises. Like I have a son who's autistic. Do y'all have teachers, instructors or something for them specifically?
I mean, as far as the boy goes, keep I'll say that we'll turn our child away. I mean, I will say, my kids, that we deal with autistic children right now, with special needs all day. We have separate rooms to do, it's not individualized, I want to be fair to you. It's not individualized, it's still a group of children, so it's all. You maybe need an interview, see, or give it a try, just to see if it could work. And I just want to be honest. See if it could work.
Church would be about the same thing. We didn't turn our kids down, we try to help every kid that comes into those doors. So we try to work with parents as well, every kid that we can.
And like, just in case if y'all can't control them, the parent will have to take them out.
So that's
both?
we try to communicate with the parents, what is it that's really helping us out.
And for the Boys and Girls Club?
Just staying on with you, I mean, it cannot work, it cannot work, but that's, I don't know, the school, how does the school do that right now?
Yes, so currently, so like Monday, what program are we able to take the child to?
You had to go to work with me.
Okay, all right, I was gonna say, because there's programs out there we need to know about, but also Zimmerman is here with people from our social work department. And these are things we can look at, we're talking about that means we can maybe be funded. But these are things we are already. Friday mornings, we're at school, Special ed children are definitely still welcome to come. Please make sure that they come to us. So we want them to participate in any opportunities that we have. Those the afternoons, we're talking about, we're already, we've already thinking about other things. We have facilities. So we will be maintaining some of our instructional aids. We pay extra money overtime, things, the afternoons, they want to help, it just depends. How many children will have a need for? We also have to make this number. Just like Monday, when I asked how many kids were going to grow up their own need. So if we talk about that, and it's time for that. Because we have to be problem solvers, we have to find some ways to.
Right, now you're exactly right, somehow there was, miscommunication, you're exactly right, it was probably that, no one was informed, that's probably why. There was only 8, if everybody had known, I promise you, there probably would have been 100. Right? Right, but I do want to say this, and not that they're trying to defend it, go back and forth. But prior to this, we had a very simple schedule out. You know, if you didn't get ready, those are love kids, those are our kids. Thank you. And I'm sorry you didn't get it, but that's the communication error where we should make sure everybody gets it correct.
Great questions.
Hey, good afternoon. As you can probably tell by the type of questions being asked tonight, there is a concern about special education students, mine being possibly one of them. Elementary, it's at now 355 in comparison to 315-ish. Are you going to be giving dinners to all of these kids?
Yes,
When is that dinner going to be held?
that is something we plan to do services.
So we'll be given at 355 when the kids get out. Am I assuming that's correct?
Most likely, exactly the way it's working now, we got that, because food service guidelines, home guidelines.
You'll get more money in the end if you feed all these kids. I understand that portion, but what I'm trying to get is correct. So the point that I'm making here is my kid's gonna go to school and start at the same time every morning, which this is it. My kid doesn't go to school at 7:30 anymore. Okay, I got problems with that. And then come 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he gets off out of school, he's tired. So now we have 3:55, they get out, they get dinner, we shuttle them on the bus, they ride in the bus. Before you know it, it's 5 o'clock. So a lot of these parents who, if you go to this schedule, when you lengthen the day, I have to push back dinner. I got to push back any after school activity like Boys and Girls Club. I got to push back shower, and I got to shorten his evening long night nap before he's got to get ready for school in the morning. Those are issues for many kids with special needs when you do long day school day. I want to know, has the committee and advisory looked at the calendar and thought away about eating away these holiday dates and then adding them onto the areas so you can shorten the day? Another good idea would possibly be to throw these extra days at the end of the year. And if there weren't any emergencies or weather days, you can allow the kids to leave school early at the end of the year. Were these anything, was that a topic that was spoken about? We just have a normal school day, so let's say 7:30 to 3:15. But eating away some of these holiday days to lower the in-class time.
Okay, we license before, just.
Well, they've already made their suggestion, so you're taking it back to the advisor?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything. It's hours, right now, it's 10 hours. what calendar is gonna have, is there an overwhelming, I guess, support for a certain problem? Well, then we need to look at that, so then we may say, all right, so look at such now and see, are there some patterns of questions we've heard in the survey, if you comment box? Has patterns of thinking that maybe you could add to the calendar to make it even better. For example, I just said, we put in the calendar, we can have those minutes, maybe we don't need them because we have those logs that we use. So could that shave off some minutes from the day? Could one of those wellness days do that? Again, that's what I call options, active. We want to try to do the best fit. Whereas many people talk, but you know what, it's not going to be one size fits all.
Well, April 4th is coming around the corner, and I don't see that the advisor really has another meeting to talk about the calendar. But my main concern and what I keep my ears to the street is this is a long day for these kids. I've myself seen them pass out at 2 o'clock. Teachers don't wake them up. They just let them sleep. So I just don't see this working out for the teachers nor the school student, especially the special education kids, when you're putting an hour almost extra on the day and pushing everything back in the evenings.
Okay, thank you. Now, I know we're speaking about some small groups, some many students, they're all for many students that don't fall asleep at 2, and I want to make sure that we realize that. Let's give our kids credit. Yeah, we have a lot of kids involved in many things. They're doing things after school. So when was not going to do that to you? Our things to do. We as a whole have to do. We have what help, especially special. Again, IEP, that's what we're to make sure. Are you making the child? This child. I don't consider it a funny thing. I consider. Okay, we're not gonna do. We're gonna have a civil policy. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. If you want to make it right, let us know, we need to do, but we're not gonna do this, just this. All right, one more. We're already on. Okay.
All right, fellow Brains, my name is called report time. Hey, I think number one, I want to commend the parents that are here because we have a passing test rate now. And because we have a passing test rate, 10, 15 years are not passing. Okay, now we have a passing grade. That's the reason we can do this. That's the reason this is a choice. So I commend the board and those that were on the board. I commend the parents. I commend everyone here trying to make it happen. And I guarantee you, I know them all. There ain't no way they're going to leave any of your kids hanging. And if there's something that your children need, don't be afraid to ask because they're here to help. So keep doing good because we're going to be a great school district in due time.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming out here. Thank you so much, community partners. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who came. If you have any questions, we're here. Okay, we're here. Ask, email, anything you need, we are here. Thank you.